Hello and welcome everybody. Today we're going to have a discussion about leaven in your life or your relationship. So if you're interested, stay tuned. Okay, so leaven. What do we have to do with leaven? Now the interesting thing is when Yeshua warned us, he said be careful for the Pharisees because they are like leaven. Be careful for the leaven. What is leaven? Well, if you go and look in the dictionary, it shows you that it's a single cell organism that is able to break down sugar, and that sugar becomes alcohol. So that is vital in the process of making liquor, but also we use it in bread and all of those things. Now the interesting part is that we do not, when you go into the temple and the Holy of Holies, the bread is unleavened bread. There is no leaven in the bread. And that is a symbol of sin in our life. Even though it may be a very, very small microorganism, it has the ability to affect and influence the way you think, the way you reason, and the way you act. Let's just take an excessive quantity of it like alcohol. When somebody consumes an excessive amount of alcohol, they become drunk. And when you are drunk, you are unable to reason accurately. All of your senses is out of balance, and therefore the way you walk, the way you talk, the way you act, the way you reason, everything is influenced. Now, a lot of times people say, well, if it is a very small amount, it does not have an effect. It definitely has an effect, but the effect is small. Now, the problem is, if you constantly take small doses, you get used to that dose. So you can start to increase the dose, and it becomes more and more and more. But at the end of the day, where the big challenge lies is that if you are focusing and you're taking in too much leaven, and I'm speaking spiritually, I'm not speaking physically now. When you take in all of the advice of the Pharisees that are actually trying to lure you away, it becomes a big problem and a focus point in your life. And if you listen to them, eventually they'll drag you away. Now, it is interesting why the controllers of the world are so against Christianity, because a true Christian is somebody that you cannot control. A true Christian is willing to die for what they believe in, where other people are not really believing it up to a point where they are willing to die for what they believe in. So one of the most difficult people or groups of people to control in the world is actually Christians. They are not easily controlled, and the world wants to control a Christian. Now, leaven and control in your life. I want you to think about it, that if a true Christian is the most difficult to control, and you want to take them down, you're going to have more clever ways. And that is what leaven does. The spiritual leaven draws you away bit by bit, slowly but surely. And I want you to be careful, and I want you to think today in your own life. What is the leaven in your life that is taking you away from your relationship with Yahweh? Because in the beginning it may be just, it's just one day. Eventually it's just 1 week. It's just 1 month. And thereafter you feel you're not worthy. All of the advance that you made, you start to go back. And that's the process that we call backsliding. You are not where you used to be. You slide it back. And most of the time backsliding is not just, I'm here today and gone tomorrow. Backsliding is, I was here today and next month I'm backwards. I'm not where I was. And therefore, we need to be careful. And I want you to identify leaven in your life. Maybe it's a bad relationship. Maybe it's your work. Maybe it's television or entertainment. What is the leaven in your life? Control it. If you can't control it, get rid of it. If you don't think that it has a damaging effect on you, just pray about it. Make sure, work on it, focus and see what it does in your life. And therefore we need to pray, and we need to ask Yahweh, what is it that we need to remove? Not to be lawful, but to be conscious about our relationship. And then we work at it so that our relationship can be strong. Father, I pray that you will reveal to us what we need to remove in our lives. What is the leaven in our lives that is bad for us? What is the leaven that we need to get rid of? But also help us to see the spiritual sugar, the things that taste good, but once it's mixed with leaven, it becomes bitter, it becomes confusing, it becomes destructive. Help us to see what is the nice things that are actually starting to kill us. Help us that we will be focused on you and be true to you. Give us strategies so that we can connect with you in this year. I thank you for your great love and I thank you for your great mercy. I thank you for that in the name of Yeshua. Be blessed, family.